Welcome to Waypoint, everyone. We are now in episode 4 of our little side adventure featuring Max and her escapades during summer camp a few years ago. And so that it doesn't get overly boring for you guys, there's another GM in the seat for this little adventure, namely me, Vio. And our normal GM, Julian, is...
Yeah, I'm not the GM this time. I'm a player. I play Willoughby Crowley, who is a low magic user, and he doesn't like summer camps or superheroing a lot, or any at all.
Any amount.
Yes.
Mimi, who are you playing?
Well, I'm playing Sparky, also known as Max.
And our special guest here for this one-off is...
I'm Sam. I'm playing Robin, who doesn't have any superpowers, but everybody thinks they do.
Because everyone wants them to have them, I guess? Or just because they're just that good?
They're just very perceptive of things, and people think they can read minds. Which, to reiterate, they can't.
I just realized that I think we've never, directly established the Sparky thing, except for, in 2 one-off lines. One of the characters called Max Sparky, and the fact that Max was once called Sparky was mentioned once in the main plot.
Yeah. True.
Max is currently called Sparky. This is universe building.
To be fair, it was a very funny line. No, but I would assume that if we get a prize at the end of this or something, it will go to Sparky.
I mean, maybe.
I mean, that's the name that will be on it, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, no. I just thought if one person gets the prize, it would be really funny.
No, I meant if we win.
Yes.
I feel like we're gonna be pretty decent at the end of this. We're at least gonna get something.
I mean, I'm sure we're gonna get completely wrecked by the Purple Shield cabin.
Okay, so it is nearing lunchtime at Lake Silvercrest Summer Camp, and the fire is crackling merrily. One might even say it is roaring merrily. Also, this campfire is not confined to a fire pit, but rushing out of the ground in a blue wall of fire, completely preventing entry into the cave beyond. The only way is through, but to survive doing so, Will, Max, and Robin will have to satisfy its hunger, preferably before the team from Cabin 4 do so. It's time to put on the thinking hats and figure out this mystery. As a reminder, the 3 of you are standing in a clearing at the cliffside near one of the little hills. There is a wall of fire between you and the entry. The other team has also just heard the news, and your camp counselor, Tamina, has just told you have to satisfy this monster as I'm just gonna retcon it because it's way funnier. The fox made out of fire pushed its snout out and said, "Satisfy me." And Tamina looks at you and says, "Okay, clues are hidden around here, and whoever goes in first gets a 10-minute head start. Have fun," and sits back down on their stool.
All right.
Anyway, should I be cluing for looks?
Yeah,
yes.
Go cluing for looks,
Clue for
please.
looks.
Go clue.
I'm just going to tell you one thing right now. There are some specific things you can find. They are not that well hidden. You will find them just by looking around. But the question you roll will basically determine how fast you will find them. The worse you roll, the longer it takes you to find this clue and interpret it, and the more time the other team will have to find clues on their own. So, if you win or lose will depend entirely on your rolls. So your roll will not be, will I find them, but how fast can I find them?
Right.
Can we help with that?
I was just gonna ask that. Is anybody gonna, help me look on the ground and shit?
I mean, we can all look around.
I assume we're all looking together, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get 3 dice?
So I will say all of you roll, and the 3, it's a brains roll. And I'm still trying to figure out how to adjudicate a dice pool when all of you have different rates of what would be considered as success. Because if I say the 3 best dice, that depends entirely on whose number we are taking as a ground.
I mean, maybe just if we say we're basically all just helping one player, then just that player with 1 extra dice for the help would be an option instead of having all of us roll.
Okay.
Because that would be 1 less dice, but we would give all of our dice to the person with the best rolls, basically.
Okay. Robin, 1 die for your ability and another die for help from the other characters. So 3 dice.
Yes.
Roll!
That is 3 successes.
Hey!
Nice!
One of the real good
It's almost like you're the brainy one.
Yeah. Almost.
That is
It was a 3 and 2 4s.
Nice. Oh, that also means you. No, you're
it
5.
doesn't.
Right. I'm so used to being
All
for
the
being
fours?
a.
Yeah, and I have the 3. So
We have been traumatized by all the 4s last time.
Yeah.
Let's see if I roll another one this time. Even 1.
Okay. So a critical success means the following: you look around and you immediately notice 1 scroll of like a old-timey scroll, parchment rolled together and sealed with a bit of wax, is lying beneath a bush at the edge of the clearing. As you look around, you notice next to the firewall, basically, there is 1 rock that looks weirdly translucent, and you can see something scroll-shaped inside of it. The rock has the same greenish tint that your floating sword does. You also look around and notice too, all right, people always make this mistake, they don't look up. And as you look up, you see hanging from a thin thread from the branch of a tree another scroll. You see in the same tree, you also see a little hole where a bit of paper shimmers through. And as you look around in the underbrush where one of the scrolls is hidden, you see something red flit across your vision, and as you follow it, you see a red fox crouching behind some rocks that also has a scroll in his head. In his mouth, not in his head.
in his head.
And these are the scrolls you see.
I mean, some of them seem pretty easy to get.
Perhaps one of us could go for each to display our individual abilities.
Yes, I was going to suggest that you get the one that is hanging overhead, Will.
Mm-hmm.
And since you have also already proven to be good with a sword, to maybe crack the stone open with a sword, Max.
I feel like we should probably do the fox together,
Yes,
because
I
I
think
really
we
don't
do.
just want to shock it or something.
Yes. So, Max, do you want to get the one in the stone? Maybe that should has to be broken out with a sword. I'll just pick the one off the ground because I am very useful in this. And Willoughby, do you want to climb up the tree and get the 2 scrolls there?
I mean, I have
use magic?
Yeah.
Or use magic?
Yeah, I have telekinesis. I think I'll use that one.
Right, that's better.
Yeah, I'll try to telekinesis it out of the tree.
The one hanging from the tree, or the one inside the trunk of the tree by the little hole?
The one hanging, both are like above 12-year-old height, right?
The one in the hole is not. You can actually see if you want to look closer, you can see that the hole seems smaller than the scroll, so it would be a bit finicky getting it out. Or maybe it might cost you time.
And the other one is attached to
a piece of thread hanging from a branch, but definitely high up.
I'll go for whole one first, and instead of finicky, I'll just telekinesis it towards myself.
Okay, let's see by your roll if it makes it out without ripping.
Come on, 2 4s.
Do not dare! Don't you dare!
I did not. Is it brainy or is it brawny?
I would say this is brainy. This is very, as I said, finicky. It's very hard to telekinesis it in a way that it doesn't just fly out and rip to pieces.
Okay, that's good, because I rolled a 2 and a 3. That would have been no successes otherwise.
So 2 and a 3, that means 2 successes. That means it works well. You look at the scroll and you manage to sort of, I assume the telekinesis works towards you, like towards your hand or towards your center of mass.
I'm assuming towards my hand.
Okay. So you basically manage to put your hand in front of the hole and sort of move it around so that the piece of parchment is slowly working its way out. And as you get it out, it's like a smallish piece of paper, and there is only one word written on it, and it says music.
All right. I'm not gonna shout to the others what that clue is because
maybe not. Yeah.
You can also see the other people from cabin 4 are also one of them has run into the forest, another one is studying the firewall, and the third one is like looking at another weirdly greenish stone.
I'd also like to try to go for the other one, but I think the other players get a turn first.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up the one that is just on the ground.
Good job.
Do I have to roll for that?
You solved the
No.
picking this up from the ground puzzle.
Yay!
As you bend down, you hear a sickening crack in your spine, and you have
I have just
You have
aged
noticed-
like 50 years.
gotten old, bruh. No, you pick it up and it's empty, but you see in a tiny bit of translucence, you see the symbol of fire.
Right.
It's not a word written on there, it's like a watermark almost. It has a tiny
Right.
Yeah.
Fire Nation symbol.
I mean,
similar.
there is this thing where, like, if you write something in lemon juice and then hold it over a flame, you can read the message afterwards. I'm gonna assume that is the case here.
That's not a bad
Okay.
move. And worst case, we just burn it.
All right. What does the sword look like right now?
It's still floating like beside you at like shoulder height, but since you've arrived at the clearing, the point is pointing down and not towards anything.
Okay.
It's just sort of following you around.
Is it solid or is it like the wispy thing again?
It's gotten more solid again. It's still
Okay,
floating and it still looks spectral, but it's not, you can't see through it anymore that well. It's not made of mist, it's made of condensed mist.
Did we ever establish that the mist is like water? H2O?
I mean,
You
not
did
really,
not.
but it's mist, right? It's probably water in some way.
I'm just gonna tell you guys that every element that can become air, like basically in air form, can form an aerolized form and be technically called mists. Just
Yeah,
like
that's
there's
what I
other
was
kinds
Yeah,
of
but I mean,
ice
we were
that
given
water
it by
ice.
the person with water control power, so I think we'll just assume that this is water
Yeah.
mist,
It is softly glowing green, but
just like
it-
water.
yeah.
That's
Sure,
what
you're
water does.
11. Why not? Okay, what is Max gonna do?
I'm going to take the sword.
You have it in your hand.
You get 5 points of acid damage.
You actually take 5 points of mental damage.
And then I'm going to the rock that has the scroll inside of it.
I have a feeling
And
I know where
then-
this is going.
How big is the rock?
It's goes up to your knee, maybe.
Oh, it's a
And-
big rock.
As you walk
That's pretty
towards it, there is something that looks like a slit at the top.
Okay.
Also, as you come closer, it starts
Excalibur, that
glowing
shit.
softly in the same shade of green as your sword.
Okay.
Alright, so we're doing the Excalibur thing.
Yes.
Reverse Excalibur.
I'm getting behind the rock in a steady position and just take the sword in both of my hands and do this
Okay.
heroic pose where I bring the sword down as epically as possible.
I don't think you need a roll to put a sword into a stone where there's actually a slit. Your sword makes contact, and as like the blade goes in, the rock almost turns translucent. The mist sort of evaporates, and as the sword tip reaches the bottom, the entire stone is gone, and there's only a scroll lying
Did
next
the
to your
sword
sword.
also evaporate?
The sword did not evaporate.
Okay, so you are the true king of England then. That's good.
But it turns back to its misty form and
Okay.
floats beside you and points towards the cave entrance.
Yeah, I pick up the scroll and look at it.
It says, hold on, which one was it again? It says stories.
Alright, music, stories,
And fire symbol.
Fire symbol.
So above me, there's still another piece of paper, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's always the question. Do I do like, oh, I climb up and grab it, or do I turn into a demon and I tear down the tree? Which of these
Or
do I
just
go
a
for?
telekinesis it towards me and
Yeah,
hope
but
I'm strong enough to snap
it's on
the
a
thread.
it's on a thread.
Yeah, you have a feeling it might rip if you try that. Almost as if the GM designed this entire thing with your telekinesis in mind. Because let me tell you, dear GMs out there, hiding stuff around for players to find in hard to reach places is a lot more difficult if one of them has telekinesis.
Yeah, but thankfully I don't just have telekinesis, I also have super strength.
Like, don't even go for the scroll, just rip off the entire branch as a demon.
Yeah, the thing is I have to get to the branch. Like, basically I'm at the point now where it's like, oh man, that, like, my telekinetic powers, I don't know if they're strong enough to rip that thread without destroying the piece of paper, but my demon powers are probably strong enough to rip out the tree. So...
Sounds legit.
I think I'm gonna go for that one. I mean, is this challenge? Yeah, I think Will is in it to win it now. Like, at this point, he's engaged. He's gonna go demon mode and rip out the tree.
Brawn, 3 dice, because that's pretty awesome and daring, I would say.
Hey.
I need this little thing on this little tiny thread. I'm gonna rip out the tree.
I don't know.
But
I
also
might damage
pretty
it with my
in character for what we've
powers.
seen.
Crunch. Okay. That's
So-
a 5 and a 6. Hell yeah.
Yay!
It's not a 4,
No
I'm just
false
happy.
sofa.
Yes.
But no 4.
it's-
Deliberately no 4.
So that's 3 successes. You walk over there. After you've spent like a few seconds just
Deliberating.
carefully and precisely getting a piece of paper out of a tiny hole, you just rip the entire tree. Like you hug it and then just rip it out of the ground. You basically do a little flex with your shoulders and the entire tree rips out of the ground. You see everyone on the clearing, I assume this includes Robin and Max, just staring at you as you, I don't know, do you throw the tree? Do you lay it down?
No, I carefully lay it down because I don't want to damage the paper.
Also turning into a demon. You hear
Yeah.
one of the people from Cabin 4 just screaming, just like in fright. And Terminator just looks at you. Nice. I can respect that. And goes over to the screaming Isabel to calm her down. And as you
Property
gently...
damage too?
Nice, I also distracted them. I win.
That's what you get for a critical success. You also
Hey.
get something extra.
Nice.
You've basically prevented them from doing anything while you're doing this. I'm gonna give you another bonus.
I mean, I already got a bonus. Distraction is enough. I don't need to be
I'm
rewarded
gonna give
more.
you a bonus for me and for all the other environmental people out there. After you lay down your tree and I assume just saunter over and rip off the piece of twine, you notice that the roots have come out pretty much in one bulb. There's like an entire blob of earth and roots in there, and you have a feeling if you put the tree back exactly the same way, it might just not care.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do like this thing where I put it back in the ground and then like slightly correct a little to see that it lines up correctly, and then go back into normal Will mode.
And around it, there's just like rocks and loose earth everywhere. Like a few branches were knocked off. There's like one side, like when you wake up, with like your hair is just like matted down to your head because you slept on that side. That's what this tree
Nice.
looks like.
Nice.
But you have a scroll in your hand, and as you open it up, it says art.
Stories,
now have 3
art,
clues.
music,
I'd go back to the rest of the team at this point so we can discuss our clues.
and
So-
also how to get the fox.
And the hold on.
The Lorax comes down from the sky and kicks me in the balls.
You also notice that after you did the entire tree thing, it's still sitting behind the boulder and sort of cocks his head or its head and just looks at you interestedly. It doesn't run away.
What exactly do foxes eat?
Everything.
Everything, right?
Yeah, pretty much everything.
Because if it eats, then it has to drop the scroll.
I mean, do we have food?
You have a whole pocket dimension, right? Isn't there like food in there?
No, there's literally just my 3DS in there.
Can't risk getting some crumbs on that 3DS.
Food can spoil. He probably one time like Will put something to eat in there, then just forgot about it, and when he pulled it out again, it was unrecognizable.
It's like when your mother goes through your backpack at the beginning of the school year and you realize that there's been food in there the entire
Yeah.
time that's just so extremely rotten right now, and then you get in trouble.
And also,
Oh,
like,
yeah, happened.
in like, if you have that in your backpack, it's been there like for 2 months and it's very disgusting. In the pocket dimension, it might have been 2,000 years. Like, you never know.
Yeah. time passes differently there.
I feel like beef
Probably
jerky
not as disgusting anymore, though.
I feel like beef jerky might survive.
Put a sandwich in there, and when he took it out, it was possessed by the elder gods. Like, that was terrible.
Yeah. And the worst part is they put like one tiny bite out of it and didn't eat the rest of it.
Yeah, they
Also,
only lifted it up and ate all the
there were 2 pieces
pickles.
of bacon on there, and now it's just 1 slice of bacon.
But yeah,
Okay.
no food in my pocket dimension. I'm sorry.
Does anyone else have food?
So, I think Max might have some Nutri-Bars or something in her backpack. I'm
Okay.
not sure the fox will like something like that, though.
I would say this is a roll to basically see if you can tempt the fox towards you with some food and if it will accept it as enough of a reason to let go of the scroll.
Can I suggest that Will puts an illusion on that as well? To make it more appealing to the fox?
I could try a sensory illusion.
Yeah,
like smell,
something
maybe.
to make it smell like really
Yeah.
good meat or something.
Cool. Sounds like a brain roll with 2 dice to me.
Whee!
And if successful, get additional die. Also, could we just say...
Do we need
this-
2 rolls for this? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say you casting a smellusion on it will
A smell
give
spell.
a smell spell, and will give a additional die to Max or to
Yeah,
Mimi
makes sense.
rather.
Abraca smell you later.
I'm not that brainy, so
yeah,
we'll
I
see.
know.
You want to have a 3
Oh.
or below.
I have a 1 and a 6.
Ooh, okay. So no matter what we decide, if it's brainy or brawny, you just get
Yep.
1 success.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you sort of kneel down and hold out your nutrient bar that has a smell spell on it, the fox sort of looks at you and cocks its head and sniffs the air and takes 1 step forward and slowly, very slowly, you coax it towards you. Robin and Will, you see you see Yumi running out of the forest with a scroll in her hand, running towards the firewall and just start speaking. And the wall of fire turns purple as she approaches. And you hear just, "This offering is accepted." And you see like 1 sort of piece of ember, purple ember start flowing in front of the firewall. So they have just gotten 1 of the hints right.
All right, good to know. I thought we were trying to figure out one thing instead of a lot of things, but I guess we
Yeah.
want to feed a fire, so a lot of things make sense.
So I will say it takes a bit of coaxing, but the fox comes over, sniffs at the nutrient bar, and drops the scroll and just snatches it out of your hand and runs off into the bushes. If you're fast enough, maybe you can like catch a stroke. I mean, not catching a stroke, you can stroke.
Yeah,
it.
you can get a
pet it.
stroke.
You get a stroke from seeing a fox.
I mean, I feel like I'm not that in tune with nature and probably like, I'm not gonna touch a wild animal if I don't have to.
Mhm.
It has fleas,
Sounds good.
probably. So, you have a scroll, and as you roll it out, it just says dance.
All right.
The arts.
The arts.
I'm a master of the dark arts, not of the liberal arts.
So you have now
Occasional
found one
dabbler,
that says
you mean.
art, music, stories, and dance.
And fire.
And fire.
Long
Yeah,
ago, the 4 nations lived together in peace.
And then the fire scroll attacked.
You have this, you have all the
Yes.
scrolls now, just one of them doesn't say anything on it.
Yes.
But a
Yeah, I mean, we're
watermark
gonna
of
go
fire.
to the firewall anyway, so I'm
Yes.
just gonna hold the piece of paper carefully towards it to see whether some writing appears.
Do you wait until Yumi has gone away from the firewall?
Yes.
Okay. As you sort of wait, she looks at you and waves and like does a fist pump and scurries off towards one of the other members. You have a feeling like they have not gotten as far as you guys have. One of them is still, you can see Ryan is like just sort of shuffling along, like hugging he's climbed the tree and is hugging the branch and just sort of shoveling along towards the end where another scroll is tied. And you just hear some crashing and cursing from Isabel deeper in the woods and the yipping of a fox. So as you walk towards the fire, it actually turns green.
We're the
Yeah,
green
right.
ones.
It's purple for the others
makes
because
sense.
they have already solved one of the things, and it's still green for us. Makes
No,
sense.
I think it's purple for them because they're the purple shield cabin, and it's green for us because
okay,
we're a
yeah.
green superhero. Anyways,
True.
Will
Maybe.
takes out both of his pieces of paper, which were I think
Music and
music and art, right?
art. Yeah.
And he's gonna hand both of them over to the others. Nope, not gonna express myself here. Not to a fire.
So, Sam, I'm gonna say,
Yes.
if you want to hold the paper close to the fire without burning it, that would require a roll.
Yes.
Also, to do it like again, it's mostly about speed, because with enough time you can totally do this without a roll. But if you want to be speedy about it, you will have to roll a brains roll.
I can take my time about it while somebody else tells the fire a story or something.
Okay, I can do story, but you do the other ones.
Right.
Okay,
So, yeah,
Sam, do you want to roll first? Then you might have all the clues.
Yes.
And
sure.
then I'm gonna do at the same time, or like, just do the roll.
Mr. Police, I gave you all the clues.
Is that just one or?
I would say your abilities, would they help with this? I would say your power of observation and deduction, I would say 2 dice. I would say your ability helps with this.
All right.
You're like in your brain, like the calculation of how close can I get before my hands start burning, how close do I have to get before maybe something happens. I would say this would help.
Right, and it's
2
a
dice.
brains roll.
Brains.
Yeah. It's a 2 and a 4.
Nice. 2 successes, so you walk towards the fire, and as you get closer, the paper sort of turns a bit translucent-ish as the green fire lights it from behind, and a word appears, and it says poetry.
Oh God.
So, you now have 5 clues. Art,
Right.
music, stories, dance, and poetry.
I mean, can we combine some of this?
Probably.
This.
You
sort
can
of
tell a
thing?
story as a poem.
Yes.
You can sing and dance.
You can sing and dance at the same time.
A song is also usually a poem.
Exactly. Will that
As you
count,
stand in
though?
front of the fire, it just says, "Feed me." Just in case
what
you
do we
forgot
wanna
that
do
it's kind of
first?
sentient.
I don't have a lot of interesting stories to tell, but I can try.
Feed me.
Go
Do
for it.
Go
All
for
right. I don't know what kind of stories you'd like to hear.
Feed.
There's one story I know very well. My parents have told me a lot of the time that since the beginning of the universe, there was a calamity coming, a large, monstrous entity that existed before the universe did. They told me that the only way to stop it is through a force of darkness powerful enough to rival it, and that I'm sort of like, meant to stop that thing from consuming the world. I really don't want to though, but that's basically the story my parents always told me. There was a calamity before the beginning of time when there was only emptiness, and it wants to reclaim the universe. Is that an
Say
interesting
calamity
story?
a couple more times, please.
Calamity, calamity, calamity.
Thank you.
The fox made out of fire looks at you and says, "This offering is accepted." And a green sort of spark, like an ember, starts swirling in front of the firewall. You don't hear a
Alright.
ding, but you feel it.
Right. I'm gonna draw an Eevee on one of the pieces of paper.
Okay. I don't think this is a roll. You draw an Eevee, I assume, with like analytical professionalism.
Yes. I can't draw
Fantastic
for shit, but
precision.
Robin can.
Okay, and you hold it out, and
Yes.
the fox also cocks its head and looks at it, and it bursts into heatless flames in your hand, and the fire says, "This offering is accepted."
Somewhat derivative. I expected more vision.
Shut the fuck up. No, a green ember starts swirling in front of the fire.
Nice.
You notice that the other people from the from the cabin are starting to get frantic and are huddling around Ryan with like one of the scrolls that they found out.
Yeah, sorry, but we're hogging the fire now until we're done.
So, what was the Dreamland mascot again?
Ricky Rat.
Ricky the Rat.
Yes.
Okay.
It's Ricky the Rat. It is not derivative of any real-world existing cartoon
Yes,
Ricky the
rodents
Rat.
at all.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking maybe Ricky the Rat has a jingle or something Max could sing.
Oh. It definitely has, I assume.
Yes, so we have to come up with something now for
Oh
the
god,
universe.
okay.
It has to be close enough to make sense, but not too close to like get copyright
Yeah, okay.
problems.
I don't have a melody, I just have the lyrics to When You Wish Upon a Star, one verse written into a weird shit thing. Called, of course, When You Hope Upon a Sun. I'm gonna type it in here.
Yeah, that would be great.
I'm also gonna ask, are any of you trying to hide what you're doing? Because singing and dancing is a bit more obvious than just speaking.
I mean, we can't hide the singing and dancing thing, but we can hide all the other things. They definitely did not see my Eevee drawing.
And I assume the story is
And
also
the
very hard to tell.
Yeah, the story was very hard to tell, but I think the story is the thing that they already did anyway.
And I mean, like, again, Max cannot sing, and Max knows this, so it will be quiet singing, and also definitely with the back to the others. So, I mean, I guess the only thing they actually can see is, like, dancing.
Mm-hmm. And Robin will just do the duck dance thingy.
That's very expressive.
Duck dance, woo. Don't sue us. Don't sue us, Disney. This is the one thing you would sue us for. Don't sue us for that.
Goose
And
tails.
that was what got them on our tails.
Goose tails, ooh.
Ooh. Ooh. Goose tails. Ooh.
Okay. Back to the main thing. You should have the lyrics now. Come on, let's
Sing.
All right. Max nervously turns towards you two and says, "I can sing, but I'm not a good singer, so don't judge me for this."
go. I have no basis to judge you.
I can't sing.
So I'm just gonna do like the Dreamland theme, right? I should do that. That
Do
seems
the
easy
Dreamland
enough.
theme, yes.
Sounds good.
Hell yeah. That's probably the only kind of music that Max hears on the regular.
Well,
The
there
only
is
one with the lyrics anyway.
yeah, there is the beach music, but that does not.
Yeah,
have the
also
lyrics.
like the corporate equivalent to Christian rock, probably.
There's also it's a giant world after all.
Yeah, it's a giant world in the end.
Yes.
It's a giant planet in the end.
I hate myself for that.
In
Yeah.
the end.
It doesn't really matter.
I'm singing with my back towards the other group, so they
Oh, right.
can see me
So
singing.
they can feel your power.
So they cannot feel my power and the power of the Dreamland theme.
Yes.
Also, the clues that you are openly showing.
Yeah, so that way the only thing they can actually see is just the dancing part.
Yeah, me dancing.
Yeah, you're just gonna dance to the Dreamland theme now, right?
Yes.
And I'm gonna be present. And uncomfortable.
Yeah.
We're all uncomfortable here.
Yes.
Mimi, sing.
Okay. When you hope upon a sun, no one cares what you have done. Things you maybe wanna have can be bought out.
You see, as you sing, the fox head sort of begins bobbing and then just says, "This offering is accepted."
What about my dancing?
A green ember starts swirling around. How do you, Max and Will, react to... How do you try to chicken dance covertly?
Covertly.
Covertly.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Just going full
I mean,
chicken.
it's gonna be hard to hide that one, I think.
Just going
Exactly.
full chicken.
I'm gonna go full chicken.
I'm just
Maybe they'll
imagining like,
misinterpret it as
like
you
Max
have to
and Will just
imitate
sort
a
of
chicken.
standing there and like puffing up their chests to like try to hide as much
Oh
of
wait,
this as
I can
possible.
literally just block you out.
You have
Oh yeah,
illusion
you
powers.
can.
I'll
You
just
can.
go big demon.
Yes.
in front of you.
You have illusion powers. You could just
Why
like
do I need
create
these? I can be a big demon.
Very
Sure.
good.
You transform into a big demon Isabel starts screaming again.
Perfect. Great.
We could have used that to get
You
whatever
have
they
the attention of the entire cabin 4 now.
Nice.
But hopefully, looking at a big-ass demon is more distracting than watching someone chicken dance in the background.
And maybe they'll misinterpret it as you have to imitate a chicken.
Yeah,
Sure.
exactly.
That
That
might
seems
be.
on brand here, right?
You don't know if one of their scrolls doesn't say pantomime or something.
In that
Yeah, we
case,
don't
we get
know
2
what it is.
wins. So
Yeah.
All right,
Anyway,
let's make a pact here, okay? Mm-hmm. None of us will speak of this ever again.
agreed.
yeah, it's not the worst pact I've made.
You do
Some
not
of
want
that
to know
turns
what he has
sinister.
to do to keep this pocket dimension for his 3DS. Sacrifices are involved. He will not tell you what kind.
Speaking of sacrifices, has my dancing been accepted?
The fox sort of looks at you and licks its muzzle and says, "This offering." Why did I go Yoda there for a second?
This
This offering
is
accepted has
accepted.
been.
This offering is accepted.
Yeah.
Okay. Does Will maybe want to perform the rudest limerick we've ever seen or heard?
I assume that spells are usually just rhymes, right?
They can
Can I
be.
just rhyme a spell?
As you are trying, are you still in your demon form? Are you going to do this? Are you going
I
to
mean,
recite a
I'm-
poem in your demon form?
I mean, I assume that I stay in the demon form for long enough for the dance to happen, but not much longer.
Okay, as you decide on what kind of poem you can do, you see Ryan Farley coming towards you and lifting his hand in greeting and saying, "Hey, I have a question for you guys. Actually, I keep forgetting that you are like all 10, 11. Like, I have a question for you guys."
I have a question for you guys.
No, that's your mansplaining voice.
True.
It is. Didn't you know
Well,
mansplainers are just babies?
Yes. Just 10-year-olds,
Actually, that's a goblin. Actually, I think that voice is a goblin.
So Ryan comes with, "I have a question for you guys. Actually, the riddle did not say at any point that we can't work together to get in there. So I just want to make the offer. We are open to cooperation, and the next part is, I'm pretty sure, just like cave exploration, and a few more eyes won't hurt either of us. So what do you guys think?"
Sus.
Will look to Max,
The leader. The obvious leader.
Yes.
the person who cares about winning this.
Well, we're good by ourselves, but should you need saving at any point, just shout. We're gonna get you then.
I mean, we don't
I
even
was
know what's going
just
on in
trying
there. We
to
might
be
able
polite.
to just do it alone, honestly.
I'm also
As you
gonna try
wish.
to push Robin a little bit away as soon as he approaches, because Robin, of course, has the stone around their neck.
Yeah, and Robin is gonna grip the stone and makes it seem like it was a subconscious gesture, and then it's
Yeah.
like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, good talk, and he goes to clap Will on the shoulder. He turns around and leaves.
Will moves away. I don't want to get clapped on the shoulder. I don't want physical contact.
Oh,
Ryan hits empty air.
okay,
I'm not comfortable with people touching me.
that's fine. I can just tell you guys, if you have like, if it's like a germ thing, I do not have to worry about this with me around.
Max shouts after him, "Good luck with the fire."
No, he turns around and smirks. Good luck to you.
We're ahead. Like, we're clearly ahead here.
We are clearly ahead.
What
We
kind
need
of
to
power game are you playing,
Your
my
face
boy?
is ahead. And he just sits on and starts jogging away. And you, as he
What a
walks over there, you
weirdo.
just see him sort of like ducking his head a bit as he talks to the other people, and you see Yumi just burst out laughing and clapping him on the shoulder and looking at him and just keeping laughing. And he just you see him from all the way back here. You see him turning red, beet red.
I think the shoulder clapping is just how they communicate.
If we weren't little children, I'd be
Maybe
really
that's his love
uncomfortable with
language.
us slamming everyone else.
You will win this, but everyone will hate you.
I mean, I'm going at this with the normal summer camp attitude of I'll never see any of these assholes again.
But also going at us before we even know what's inside is a bit weird.
I think he saw that we were ahead.
Yeah. They just wanted to keep us from charging ahead, I guess. Anyway, let's
You just see them like slowly coming towards you, but you have enough time to do a quick poetry, to slam down some poetry.
All right. I mean, I know some things that rhyme. Some of them cause dark things to happen.
Accidentally summons an elder god.
Yeah. There's this one formula that I know that has like a really slapping rhythm. It's just I don't know what it does, and I don't want to try out.
Maybe we should just like each say a sentence, and the next one just says something that rhymes with it.
That sounds very fun.
Should I just recite an actual poem that I know?
No, that thing with a sentence that everybody else completes. It sounds very fun, and like it would be great for the audience.
Oh no.
Sure. I mean, I can start.
Do it.
Okay, you can start, and then who continues it? We need to establish an order here.
How about we go me, Will, and then Robin?
Sure.
That's fun. That's great.
There once was a little cat.
Oh no, an actual limerick? All right. That was catching a tiny bat.
What is the structure of limericks again? Bloody hell.
Just say something. I'm gonna have to rhyme with that, and then you're gonna have to
two
rhyme
rhyming
with
lines
words.
again, and then a third line that rhymes with the first one again.
It doesn't have to be perfect, Sam. Just
It's
go with it.
AABBA.
The bat lost its wings.
The worst of all things.
And now it is merely a rat.
Yay!
Hey! A limerick. The worst of all poems.
And the fire, there's another ember in green that swirls around, and all of them swirl together and form like portal, like a doorway shaped hole in the flames.
Actual hell yeah! Suck it, purple shields!
Und Termina Sato gets up. Well done, Starbolt! As you turn around, you see the other people from Cabin 4 coming over and just standing next to you and saying, "Oh man, gosh darn it!
Gag nabbit."
Oh bugger!"
Cripes.
So, you have made a doorway inside the flames, and as Termina Sato comes over and claps and says, "Well done, Starbolt Cabin," you actually see Cabin 4 just coming up to you and walking toward the fire, and a little gust of flame shoots towards them, and they jump to the side. And Isabel just sort of tries to touch the fire or something, and the color keeps flickering back between purple and green. So, you guys have the honor of going in first and getting a head start on the other team. Hey,
Will is gonna turn around to her too and is like, "Hey, what are you doing there?"
Nothing, just experimenting. And then Yumi just reaches inside the fire and it turns purple. And she looks back to you and gives you like an incredibly smug smirk and just plunges through the fire curtain. And Ryan just sort of ducks his head and mumbles, "Please work, please work, please work," and runs in after her. And before you can react, Yumi has also turned around, given you like an apologetic shrug, and has run straight through the flames as well.
I'm gonna also try to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's purple now. I don't know if it's gonna let us through, but we're gonna
As you
try.
walk towards it, like half of the fire turns green, and the purple parts try to like lash out at you, and the green parts sort of swirl around you, and the entire cave entrance starts to rumble and shake as the fire sort of starts fighting with itself. And just as what's your marching order? Who is going in first? I assume Will, since
Yeah, Will is first because
Yeah.
I said that he reacts first.
okay.
Yeah, and well, Max is just gonna run after him.
Okay, so
Yeah, and
Will is
Robin
finally
Robin
engaged.
Is in the last spot.
So I will say, just as Robin passes through the fire, this just seems like a tiny bit warm, doesn't feel very hot. You actually see the green and the purple parts sort of forming a ball of fighting fire, and then it just explodes. And this is where we'll leave this episode. I just don't think I can manufacture a better one than you guys run into a cave and then the entrance explodes.
We're all getting cave-in.
Yeah, that's basically it.
Hey, we always said that we can just die except for Max, right?
I
Is
cannot
this the part where everyone except for Max dies?
No, I think
Max also
you're
dies.
Fine.
Max also dies. The character in the current plot is an imposter.
It's Max.
Yeah.
This is where we learn that actual Max is dead.
It's like an
Mecha
alien
Max
just
in the original
shapeshift into Max to blend in.
Max died in World War II. You have to let go.
clone.
Oh, and then we find out that Rex actually has resurrection powers.
Oh, that's why Rex. Resurrection.
Rex-erection!
Oh man, that's such a good superhero name.
That's such a good superhero name.
Writer's credit.
Thing is, though, won't there be repercussions for the other team? Because they clearly cheated in front of the camp counselor.
Yeah, but
thing
I
is-
mean, is cheating bad?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's
Like-
that. It depends on what the rules
like-
are here.
If you're a superhero, you need
moment,
to
I was-
outwit villains sometimes.
yeah,
right?
I was just thinking, would Max complain about the team doing this? And I actually don't think so, because like this might be a game, but in like actual superheroing, there's no such thing as cheating. It's just
Yeah.
all fighting and trying to be better than the other guys. So.
But do
We
you know
would've
that at
also
11
cheated.
years old?
I mean, I assume that
actually-
you've had superhero training for basically all your life.
I feel like this is the kind of thing that whenever Max would complain to her mother, like, this is unfair. This, like, the typical lesson of, well, life is unfair.
Yeah.
It's not
Just like
a great
shrug and
reaction,
work,
and
didn't it?
yeah.
And more. And nothing more.
It would suck to
And-
hear, but also Max's mom sucks. So
Yeah, that
it's
too.
reasonable.
But I mean, it's this whole thing of someone else might actually win by cheating, but if you let yourself be beaten by cheating, did you deserve to win?
especially like supervillains will cheat.
Yeah, I
Like-
mean, as I said,
Yeah.
like cheating is not really a thing in real fights,
Yeah.
right? It's just about winning or losing.
Also,
The person
one,
who fights honorably dies.
one
That's
might
how it
argue
works.
that Ryan's offer to like join forces might have been like their idea of trying to play it fair.
I mean, like, if they had been ahead, they wouldn't have done that. That's what I think about it.
I
Yeah.
also think that. I think there was maybe like they were playing several winning strategies here, and
They were playing 4D chess.
exactly. But yeah, I don't think like the sentence "that is unfair" is something that Max would say. It's just not a thing.
It might be something Will is gonna say. We'll see next episode. Also, like, I'm pretty sure that's not how the next episode is gonna play out. But I think it would be really funny if the three of us were trapped in a cave and literally just have to survive. It's literally just, okay, Will, can you punch our way out? Then the cave will collapse. All right, so we have to wait here for being rescued, and then we're like in there for 3 fucking days or something like that.
And we established that you have no food on you except some energy bars.
Yeah. It's just survival horror from this
the other
point
team
onward.
is in there somewhere.
I mean, it is, but we can't move too much, or it might collapse further.
I mean,
We might
we'll
all
see what
die.
happens.
We'll
see what happens.
see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I just had this image in my head.
Anyway, I really hope you guys are excited for the next episode. Until then, we would be really excited if you guys would engage us on social media. We are at Waypoint Pod on Twitter, on Instagram, on TikTok. So if you want to get
Everywhere except for Facebook, because who's on Facebook?
yeah, we're not on the book of the face.
We're not on Facebook.
Oh, Mayor.
So if you guys
Who's
want to
who's on Facebook who's young enough to listen to our podcast?
So if you guys want to show us your renditions of the Dreamland theme song or alternate lyrics, you're welcome to do so. We would absolutely love it. Again, pets of any kind, or pictures of pets, more precisely, are always welcome. And yeah, or even just to chat with us, we are always open to it. Also, what would you do if you were in a cave-in caused by a magical flame explosion?
What was the name of that movie with that guy stuck in a crack for like a specified number of hours?
37 hours, I think.
37 hours. Yeah, tune in next time for Superhero 37 Hours
Yes.
with us in the cave.
So, until then,
We'll eat Ryan, I think.
everyone, please interact with us. We are so lonely. Please, please. And goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.